Hi, I'm Kerry. I'm Challenge Family Coordinator. I work obviously at Monash Hospital and I also speak to lots of new families. So a usual day for me in the Monash Children's Hospital is very busy. So obviously it starts off in outpatients where I'll go in and interface with all the families that I generally know that have begun treatment, and then obviously speak to hospital staff as well. And then I'll head across to the ward where obviously when you're on the ward, you're either in having chemotherapy treatment or you're not very well. So that can be room to room, having a chit chat, looking for an art activity maybe for one of the kids to do. I also make lots of really good coffee, so often parents on the ward appreciate that, so someone to bring them a coffee. Yeah. In the hospital, when you're approaching new families, I certainly can empathise with those parents and what they're going through, because I was a challenge mum myself. And 15 years ago, my daughter was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So I can understand what families are going through.
Hi, I'm Renee and I work for the Challenge Hospital Support Team. So when I first meet a family, I try and get a gauge of where they're at, and that might be something as simple as sitting down with a mum for a coffee at our morning tea and understanding their family dynamics, whether there's siblings and what their needs are. So at the start of their treatment, a child might need something as simple as coming to our playgroup on a Wednesday where they can engage with other kids going through a very similar thing, to then attending camps with other children further into treatment when they're allowed to. Working in this role, there's a few things that put a smile on my face, but it's just meeting all the different families. No two families are the same, and being able to offer them something that, you know, is just so unique. You never think that when your child's diagnosed with cancer, someone will come into your room and say, would you like to pop out for an hour for a massage? And while you do that, I'll be able to watch your child and sit with them and play with them, and knowing that their child's being well looked after, will they enjoy an hour out of their day just for some relaxation.
Hi, my name's Olivia. I'm part of the hospital support team at Challenge. Our hospital program covers the Monash and the Children's, which is where I am. So in between meeting new families and following up with old about any upcoming events, I spend my time sort of playing with the kids. So one of the ways that I do that is through the rentals that we provide. So kids can borrow Xboxes, PlayStations, Wii's, DVDs, iPads, and usually when I set it up, I always have a bit of a round of Mario Kart with the kids before I go about the day. So one of the most exciting things we do at the hospital is we have celebrity visits quite frequently. So we get lots of football players come in, which is always nice, especially for the little boys, I think, to have a run around and play with the ball. We also have Andy Lee, who's a bit of a favourite amongst the hospital, and especially is really good with some of the older kids who've seen him around on TV and on the radio as well. And he always takes the time to spend quite a while sort of having a conversation and really sort of getting to know the kids that are in there, which I think the kids walk away feeling very special.
A few months into diagnosis and treatment, and a lot of high-fiving mum and dads in and out of hospital, so they don't get a lot of quality time together. So it's important that we always remember them too. So we've created this date night, which has been fantastic. So it's able to connect parents, allow them to have some quality time together, to enjoy one another and to remember who they are outside of all of the cancer journey, and reconnect.
We also have so many things that we offer for parents and carers. So our mums are treated to mums retreats down in Torquay with a group of other mums and share their experiences and talk about what they're going through, again in that very safe environment. So dads are a little bit different in that they often chat about their feelings subconsciously. They'll be, you know, at a fishing charter just chatting to other dads about what they're going through, and some of those emotions and feelings might come up without them being aware. Challenge offer art and music therapy programs for both patients and siblings, and I think that's really valuable. It gives particularly the siblings a chance to sit down with someone one-on-one, discuss what they're going through, and often their emotions and feelings come out in the work that they do. When families are going through such a tough time, I think it's really important that we can be flexible, and our art and music therapy programs offer that. We are able to send our art and music therapists out into the home for their sessions at a time that works for the family. So that might be during school hours for children under 5, or after school for those children who do go to school.
So one of the things that Challenge strives to do is always to rely on the practical things. So one of the ways we achieve that is through our haircuts that we do monthly. We have our lovely volunteer Sean that comes in on a Monday and cuts hair for patients and for parents. So we do shaves for some of the kids, which can often be a little bit of a difficult time, especially for the teenagers, and Sean always makes his most to sort of make that as seamless as possible. And I think it also helps the kids having it done on ward, so they're not having to go out in general public and walk out with a shaved head and feel a bit uncomfortable. It's also always funny to see the parents come out of the ward as well with a fresh do as well, and walking around in their PJs but their hair perfectly done.
The unique thing about working with Challenge is that we do offer support for families 365 days a year, whether that be accommodation for families during the week, over the weekends, the parent retreats that we run, kids attending concerts on the weekend, or even going in and delivering Christmas presents on Christmas Day. All those little things make such a difference.
A typical day for me at Monash, I could probably activate maybe 30 different services, and that's just talking about different services. So we've got date night, music therapy, art therapy, play group, recreational camps, activity days, holiday accommodation at 3 different properties. I could go on and on and on. The support is incredible, and one family could probably activate 3 of those supports in that 1 week, because then we've got the sibling, the parent and the child. So Challenge have a collective range of different support services to support families at all different processes of where they're at.